Welcome everybody to the final manga show of 2021. It's a very monumental occasion, right? So welcome guys to another installment here on Omnibros Live, part of the Omnibus Collectors Network. It's your boy Geo here, back at it again. I've been streaming nonstop this week. It's crazy. I hadn't noticed. Maybe I'll go live tomorrow. Who knows? But regardless, you're here with me. That's all that matters. I will be joined shortly by another Omnibro, supposedly. So stay tuned for that. And we decided to do a little. Speaking of, there we go. Welcome to the Omnibus Collector. How you doing, buddy? Yeah. So, uh, give me a second. Give me a second here, real quick. I'm gonna check something out. Yeah. All right. Perfect. How you doing, buddy?
Good. I just ate and had to rush up to get on.
Nice. So I was
How
telling
you
the
doing?
chat,
I
I
like that
thought
venue.
of making a little, not a year-end review because I wasn't really paying attention throughout the year to everything that was happening, manga-wise. But I thought maybe we could talk about our favorite reads and talk with the chat and all that fun stuff.
I pulled some of the releases from this year that I really liked. Um, so some new series, some new releases. Actually, just a bunch of.
Yeah. We seem to be having a little bit of a technical hiccup here. I don't know if it's me or if it's you. One of the two is lagging a little bit.
Let me
I think we
refresh.
can. Yeah, yeah. All right. Let's settle that before we go on with the show. James, a part of me was hoping it was going to be Jess, and he finally was going to talk about his love affair with manga. No, I stopped bothering with those jokes because Jess has had enough of the manga jokes, so I don't bother with it anymore. He ain't reading it. Sorry, kids. Maybe the books that Riley sent him at some point because they do have some interesting imagery inside, but don't hold your breath.
um, sure.
So let me
Some
remind you
imagery
guys.
that let
Yeah,
want to
go
keep
ahead.
them.
Sorry, my bad.
No, I was just saying imagery that led to me not wanting to keep them, so I sent them his way.
Yeah. All we need now is is it gigant or is it gigant? Because I looking on YouTube, everybody pronounces everything differently, and I saw a bunch of people say gigant. And I'm like, isn't it gigant? Because she's giant. Okay.
I guess if it's like phonetically pronounced the way that Japanese would typically be phonetically pronounced, it would be gigant, but I've always said gigant as well.
Yeah, I made a video on my channel. I just said gigant, but I don't know. People are weird. Also, I have to say this just for the fun of saying it. Don't come at me, gang. I love that the manga community on YouTube pronounces certain words differently than the comics community. Like omnibus, and over there they will say omnibus, and I just found that so hilarious to me that I get a kick out of it when I find a new manga tuber and they're like, I got these new omnibus. I'm like, okay, cool, omnibus, but sure, whatever.
I also got a comment because I said chibi instead of chibi.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's supposed to be two long I sounds, and I just for the entirety of my life have said chibi or not chibi,
Chibi.
have said chibi.
Oh, okay. I've heard them both ways. Yeah.
Yeah, someone was like BTW, it's pronounced chibi, and I wanted to be like BTW, I don't GAF.
Also, shout out to our Twitch viewers. That is awesome. We're also streaming on Twitch tonight. I rarely do the manga streams on Twitch, but why the hell not? Meowington IV. There we go. Legos is not a word.
Don't go the other
So
way because my connection is not good here.
yeah, maybe try lowering on the settings the camera, your webcam.
It's my Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay.
I keep seeing it go out, and I'm in this room because I got like a better desk setup. Like I got a
Yeah,
second monitor, and I wanted to take advantage, but
that you're gonna use that for your Twitch streams. I'm calling it 2022. You're gonna start making Twitch streams, and you're gonna use that dual monitor. Mark my words.
I'm excited to see how it affects like my editing speed.
That should be fun. Yeah. Let me remind you, while Riley is away for a second, that this show is sponsored by the folks at InStockTrades.com, our wonderful sponsor. Basically, your home for all things collected edition, whether it be an omnibus, a trade paperback, hardcovers, whatever it may be. When it comes to collected editions, you got to go to InStock Trades, man. Up to 50 to 60% off. Deals every week. Loyalty discounts tack on an extra 2% to that. And if you place an order of $50 or more, you get free shipping. Fantastic customer service and wonderful packaging at InStockTrades.com, the official sponsor of Omnibros Live and the Omnibus Collectors Network. Also, guys, let me remind you, next week, a week from now, on the 30th, the final show of the year, courtesy of In Stock Trades, aside from the Omnis, where we will talk about the best books of the year, we were also going to give out the gift card, $50 gift card, open to every single person out there. If you're watching, you can participate and try and win a $50 gift card courtesy of InStockTrades.com. So shout out to our lovable sponsor. I don't know why I said that, but yeah. Twitch gang. All right. I saw our stats, and it's not the most impressive stats because this show just randomly. I randomly added the stream to Twitch. We're not making content specific for Twitch. It's just all the channels at the same time: Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And we're on our way to meeting the requirements for being affiliates, which I thought was hilarious because we barely put any effort whatsoever into Twitch.
That's funny. I know some people who like work really hard for a while to get that.
Yeah, I mean I think we're like halfway in the requirement list or something like that, which is crazy. I even have my own Twitch channel, but I haven't done anything with it significantly. But that's awesome. So if you follow us on Twitch, hey, hi. Before we get on to the main topic, I know that you love everyone's favorite shotgun licenser, Seven Seas. Did you see their latest or their final Wednesday reveals for the year?
What was in there? Let me know.
A lot of stuff that I think you're not going to be interested in, but I thought they were really cool. At least one book I am going to get. I'm pulling up the pictures now because they send them to my email address. Okay, give me a second. Okay, let me just share this first. Share screen and yep. So this was the final reveals. Seven Seas has licensed a Chinese fantasy, The Dragon King's Daughter manga series. Happy to announce the acquisition, blah, 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 by Yen Samejima, the first entry in a collection of Chinese folk tales vividly adapted into manga. Seven Seas will publish the manga in September 2022 for $15. So that's coming out. The other title was, I believe, hold on. I don't know what this is. Please to announce the light novel and manga series Free Life Fantasy Online Immortal Princess by Akizuzu Nenohi. Nenohi Sherry by Aki. Oh my god. Sorry, guys. I'm off tonight. Akisuzu Nenohi Sherry and Ao Sonohara. That's a lot of people for a manga and a light novel. Lose yourself in a new world of ghoulish adventure in this fantasy gaming tale. Um, so there's that. I'm not going to read all of that. The first volume comes out in August for $15. And what else am I missing here? I'm saving the one I'm getting for last, by the way. This, I think, has a fan base, but I'm not too sure. Seven Seas has acquired the license of Monotone Blue by Nagave, the critically acclaimed creator of The Girl from the Other Side and the Wise Beast of the Wizarding Wisdoms. Returns with this gorgeous boys' love tale about animal boys falling in love. It's a BL anthropomorphic manga. And oh, this is badass. Hell yeah. I forgot about this. Yeah, no, for real, this is awesome. They are doing an omnibus edition, if I remember correctly. No, I made that up. Sorry. Seven Seas is announcing the license acquisition of Thunderbolt Fantasy by Gen Urobuchi and Yui Sakuma. This is the official manga adaptation for the international wuxia television phenomenon, a co-production between an award-winning Japanese writer and the foremost practitioners of Taiwanese puppetry. If you haven't, oh yeah, I got it right. The volume will be 1 and 2 omnibus. There you go. So this is the manga adaptation of the series of the same name that you can watch on Crunchyroll. It is a puppet show, and that sounds ridiculous, but once you see it, it is amazing. I highly recommend you guys watch that. It's this Taiwanese, or I think the series is set in China. I'm not too sure, but it's somewhere around there. And this epic fantasy with swordplay and spells and magic and all that stuff, and the care and craft that goes into making those puppets, and the movements are so precise. And when they do the effects and stuff, obviously you see CG effects and all that stuff. It's really interesting and badass. It sounds goofy at first. You're like a puppet show, like from the '60s and '70s, but no, it's pretty badass. I do recommend it. This is coming out in its entirety in 2 deluxe oversized omnibus editions in October of next year. So it's a long ass wait. And last but not least, last but not least is my pick of this bunch, aside from Thunderbolt. Seven Seas is excited to announce the license acquisition of the manga Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid in full color chromatic edition. This you will be able to enjoy some of the best manga chapters that inspired an anime, video game, manga spin-offs in a full new color, a full color edition, I should say. I'm excited for it. I'm a big fan of the franchise, and I enjoy the anime. I kind of want to read the manga, but I didn't want to get all those books. Not interested in owning them. This is a nice little in between. Single large trim edition, colored. I'll take it. So if you're a fan of Miss Kobayashi, you're in luck. You're going to get oversized colored artwork.
I recently grabbed a couple more series from Seven Seas.
Yeah.
I won't mention one of them, but the other one that I haven't told you that I got, I don't think I told you I got this one, was Blue Giant, the music
the music one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Those are actually really well put together volumes, because they are 2-in-1s, but they use a matte cover. There's still a small trim that they typically use, but the matte cover actually just looks really well for those, as opposed to if they did the typical glossy cover that they do on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pretty satisfied with that, with those releases when I got them in. I wanted to pick it up because this is the stupidest reason ever. Like, if I'm being honest, first, the non-stupid reason, because I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I wanted to get it. I wanted to read it because I've heard so many good things. The second reason, which is a stupid reason, is because I thought it would be funny to just buy every manga that I could that starts with blue. So I needed to get that, and then next I need to get Blue Flag, because it was like going through all the different, especially like the Shonen Jump stuff, because there's like Blue Box, Blue Exorcist, Blue, like there's so many blue titles. So I thought it would be funny to. Oh, and then I got Blue Period like a couple months ago. So there's another blue one. So yeah,
yeah.
Funny.
Thank you. Next Imaginaut. I had no idea. Wuzia. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry.
It's
I'm very bad with Chinese pronunciation.
Chibi.
It's Chibi.
So what I do now is instead, like, I just say, like, my Urasawa video, I just said in there twice, I can't talk German. I cannot speak, like, I literally said my tongue can't do French. I cannot pronounce French stuff. And I get comments when people will say, like, it's actually pronounced this. It's actually, and I didn't get a single one. Not one. I'm so happy that I didn't get one. Because it always, like, I'm like, dude, I'm trying my best. So I just made a point of being like, I'm doing my best. I never learned anything about how to speak in German. I even looked up a video of how to say the word that was in German, but like just in case, I'm like, I don't know if my mouth makes it right. But that's good to hear about Blue Flag. I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's just not super easy to grab right now. So I've put it off a little bit. Maybe I'll get it next year.
Blue Flag is, which one is that?
It's a Viz Sig series that was, I think it was published in one of the Jump magazines in Japan. It might have been Jump Plus, or maybe Weekly Young Jump.
And because I'm confusing the blues. Which one's the?
It's a love triangle type series.
Gotcha. So which one's the one with soccer or something?
That's Blue Box.
And which one's the one about painting?
Blue Period.
Oh my god. Okay.
Blue Giant is music. Blue Period is art. Blue Box is sports. Blue Flag is
romance.
Is love triangle. Yeah, romance. Yeah. Blue Exorcist is shonen.
I know that one. Yeah. That's a fun video idea. All the blue manga titles. The blue verse.
There's black there's a lot of black too. Black Torch, Black Clover, Black Cat, Black whatever.
Yeah. Ghostly. I can't read manga. I'm only just now getting into anime. Pretty soon you'll be getting into manga. But welcome. Those two go hand in hand, buddy. Don't worry about it. No, I highlighted that. A Muppet Show similar to the James. You know what? I hope we don't get a claim or anything. I'm going to share a video. I'm not going to share the audio. Real quick. I know we're on a little tangent here on Thunderbolt Fantasy. Here it is. Let me do. No, not this. There we go. Here's a quick scene. It's on mute. Put right there, just in case. I don't want to tempt the algorithm. Assuming we won't see either of you tomorrow or on Saturday. Merry Christmas to you both. Thank you, buddy. I will have a video. It's an unboxing of something cool I got. I just need to finish recording and editing it. I'm on vacation, and I've been extremely lazy about it. So I recorded like half of it. I'm like, I don't want to finish, but I will. I will record it after I'm done with this.
I have a lot of videos that I'm obligated to make that I need to finish with.
Yeah. See, James, I got you. I hooked you. Nice. So the topic at hand is, sorry, folks, I get too excited about puppets these days. Our favorite manga that was released in 2021. I picked a couple random volumes. I got them right here. If you want to start, or I should start, I don't know.
I've got a lot of stuff. I'll just do like 3 of these really quickly together.
Yeah.
And then you can take over for some stuff, and then I'll go. So this year, had some really cool new releases from Shonen Jump,
Oh yeah,
and three of those that I want to highlight. We've got Undead Unluck,
I knew you were gonna pick that.
Mashal,
Yep.
and the most recent Kaiju number 8.
Everybody's
Um,
going wild about Kaiju number 8, and I've been reading it on the app since last year, but it's kind
yeah,
of crazy to see that.
yeah, I'm glad it's taking off. Like I've even seen people doing cosplays for Kaiju number 8.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's awesome. Like I think that this is going to take off. It is going to get a lot of popularity really soon. But really like great titles joining Viz's physical line of Shonen Jump books.
Hmm.
And then next year we've got Sakamoto Days. And I know you're not crazy about it, but the Elusive Samurai, and I would be willing to bet that Blue Box gets a physical release next year as well. But these three are fantastic titles. I recommend them very heartily. Kaiju number 8, if you're a fan of kaiju
Monsters.
and yeah, giant monsters, tokusatsu, stuff like that, this is fantastic. It's great, fast-paced action with comedic stuff that you'd expect as well from a manga, from a shonen manga. Mashal is magic and muscles. It's basically One Punch Man parodying
Uh, yeah.
Harry Potter. Um, so if Saitama was put into Hogwarts and had to pretend that his magic or that his muscles were magic,
Yeah.
that's that. And then Undead Unluck, kind of hard to explain, but dude who can't die meets a girl who kills everyone she touches, and
Exactly.
together they can help to hopefully save the world as things go.
Yeah,
Um,
baby.
Basically,
Andy, what? Right? Andy, what's his name?
yeah, yeah, Andy. It because he has other names, so it's like I'm like, which version is Andy? Yeah, that version is Andy.
Or the first one, the when you first start reading it.
Yeah,
Um,
Um, all three of those are great. I highly recommend them. And I'm so happy that they got physical releases because my video from last October, where I was like ranking and rating the newer Shonen Jump titles, Undead Unluck and Mashal were both at the top of my list. And I before I got to make the video, like I was planning it and stuff, and I was like, these are the two that like need to get a physical release. And then they got announced like right when I was about to make that video, and I was like, yes, thank you, thank you. So it's great. They're all great. Highly recommend them. Kaiju number 8, number 1 is out. Undead Unluck 5 comes out next month, and Mashal 4 comes out next month. And those the latter two are already available on Right Stuff.
yeah. And if by some reason they sell out, Walmart
Right Stuff.
carries a lot of the Shonen Jump stuff. So
Oh, and they also have it slightly discounted at Walmart typically too.
yep.
Like $1.50 off or something.
Yep. I was tempted. I saw it, and I'm like, I can't. I have no room for a long running Shonen Jump series, but I was this close to getting it.
And then InStockTrades.com will have it. Usually those will be the second week of the month, first or second week.
Oh yeah.
Also, this
Simeon.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar with cream, like this is the shit. I have almost finished my 12 pack of this.
I've never seen that.
I
Is
just
that
saw it
neat?
the first time like last week.
Simeon has a question. Anyone read Abada from Nihei? Any idea if they would ever reprint the complete deluxe edition?
Is that book now out of print? Yeah, I read it back when it came out. And it is about how you would expect it to be for a Nihei series. It's not the most straightforward storytelling.
Yeah.
And a lot of the artwork. He tells the story through the artwork a lot of ways. So you really have to pay attention to the nuanced stuff in there. But it's an interesting book with beautiful art.
Is Blue Box the one that I'm reading? The sports manga rom com?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the sports one.
Okay, I like that one. That one's fun. Too many blue manga. Sorry, guys.
Too many blue, not enough box.
Yeah. Langston Brown, thank you for joining, buddy. Any action or mystery heavy recommendations? Already into Odusawa and common action manga. Action. Have you read Blade of the Immortal? Because that has a crap ton of action. If you like samurai and gross stuff.
Detective Conan, or Case Closed for
Case
mystery.
Closed has a lot of mystery. Each volume, each case.
Typically like 2.5 cases per volume, and there's like 80 something volumes right now in English, over
Yeah.
100 in Japan.
Um, what else? Action heavy. I don't know. Gantz or Gantz or however you say it.
That one I've also imagined that we've been saying wrong forever.
I've always said Gantz,
I've always said Gantz as well.
but that sounds like a typical American saying Gantz, and I'm pretty sure it's probably like Gantz or something like that. I don't know.
Yep, unfortunately. Um, Levius doesn't get talked about too much, but that one's a nice like arena fighting type
Yeah.
series that's not too long. There's Levius, and then that's all in one giant hardcover, and then Levius Est, the sequel, is wrapping up with its tenth volume. Will be out in English like early next year.
It hasn't come out yet, but I do recommend next month. Oh my gosh, Record of Ragnarok. It's coming
Yeah,
out,
that's coming out
and
soon.
and that's just pure insanity and action and adrenaline and ridiculous in the best ways. I can't wait to collect that. I am going to be collecting that one. Okay, thanks. I have never read anything by Nihei. I just like the art when I saw it. That is more. You go in for the art on that book compared to the story.
The stories are all interesting, but yeah, it's heavy artistic value in his books.
Here's one book that came out this year that I like. Junji Ito's Censor, which, if you like Akashic records and mysterious cults and strange people with golden hair threads and crazy stuff like that, pick up Censor. Now, here's something funny. A couple years ago, little story time while we're here. A couple years ago, I at work, I was how the hell do I say it? I was
In the bathroom.
controlling a live radio show. It was, I think it was Tuesdays at like 8 p.m. or 9 or something like that. And it was one of those weird, like the shows about Reiki and spiritual healing and just random that type of randomness. Like they would talk about yoga and then start talking about the chakra points, and then they go into like spirit talk. It was very random and weird. It was kind of spooky sometimes because it was the last program. It's at night. I'm by myself. The other people are on the inside the cabin talking and all that stuff. The sound booth, and the host had this lady on. I don't think I've said this on the show. Nice. Okay. So the lady was like a spirit medium or something like that. And I'm like, I really did not want to be there that day. It was kind of freaking me out because the lady was kind of weird. She was giving off random vibes. I wasn't too fond of it. So she starts talking about whatever. I'm not paying attention. I had my cell phone on. And for some reason, they switched to the Akashic Records, which get mentioned in this book for Censor. And it's sort of the collective encyclopedia of the universe or something that some people have access to mentally or whatever. And the host was like, "So you have access to the Akashic records, right?" And like, "Yes, I do have access, and I can read the records for individuals and all that stuff." And I, for some reason, I just turned my head and I'm looking at them, and I started giggling because I thought it was silly. And the host sees me, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you." Like, "Oh, Gio over there, don't laugh." Like, random lady, you can read his Akashic records right now, right? And she stares right at me with this deadpan face, and she goes, he has not given me permission to read his celestial information or whatever. I freaked out. I'm like, I don't want any of this. Y'all better finish your stupid show, and I'm out. Because it literally was like she was seeing a freaking ghost or something, and she just went pale white, looking at me like that. I'm like, nah, I'm out. So I just I lowered the volume for my area, and I just kept doing the show on mute. So when I was reading Censor, I got reminded of that. So thank you, Junji Ito. Also, this slipcover is amazing. Look at this thing.
He doesn't always have a slipcover, but or dust jacket
Or
or
dust jacket, yeah.
but
Sorry.
when he does,
It's pretty awesome. And then this thing freaked me out. Did she wander in, or was she drawn in? Also, another action manga that everybody should check out is, of course, Fist of the North Star. I totally forgot to get Volume 2, so I just have Volume 1 here.
I chose that one too. I have
Yeah.
volume 2 on my shelf, and I have volume 3 on order. Should be shipped soon.
Yeah, baby. This is top tier action manga, just a legendary series that inspired everybody from the 80s onwards. And
Inspired me.
yeah, look at that. Look at that. It's so gruesome and awesome at the same time. This is actually the first time I'm reading the series. I've always known about it, and I watched the anime film, and I knew about Fist of the North Star, but it's really cool to read it like this, in this format. Oversized, hardcover, beautiful presentation from Viz. I think this is one of their best ones, honestly,
Yeah,
this year.
I would agree. And that's one of the reasons I pulled it was like not only is it exciting to finally get because this series has never been fully released in English. Viz tried it once, and then it went over to Gutsoon Entertainment under the Raijin Comics line, and Viz got through like 4 or 5 volumes. They had 4 volumes, but I think it collected 5 volumes of material from the original Japanese run, and then Gutsoon got through like 9 or something. And so this is very much likely going to be the first time that it's ever fully released, because it's very, very rare that a series gets canceled nowadays. And it's beautiful presentation.
Yep. Because of the story. I'm like spooky yoga lady in my story. Got it. Yeah, I have a lot of tales like that.
From Spooky Yoga Lady from Fist of the North Star.
Yeah. Fun fact: that show's not on air anymore. The dude had like a $3,000 debt to the station, and they canceled the show, and he just ran away. I think he still owes the station some money.
Damn.
A Japanese person you knew in the mid 2000s pronounced Gantz the same. Gantz, like G ants. They're superpowered ants. I really thought Fist of the North Star would have been out of print and hard to find once released. Luckily, it has been readily available. Yeah, I recently placed an order on Right Stuff a couple weeks ago, and Volume 2 was still there. I'm like, oh, I better get it. I forgot to keep going with that, so I ordered Volume 2. And I need to get Volume 3 now because I remembered it came out this week.
It just came out. It's available right now. I think it just became available about a week ago on Right Stuff in particular.
Yeah.
And I believe In Stock Trades has it as well. So there's a couple avenues you can take right now.
Oh yeah. Here's another book that came out this year at the very start of 2021, January. Asadora Volume 1, and we're already on what?
4.
Volume 4? Yeah, and Japan has Volume 6 out.
6 comes out in a few days.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow,
and it's on a hiatus, so we're going to catch up real quick on this. Or a brief hiatus, I should say, from Naoki Urasawa. It's got monsters and hurricanes and airplanes and wonderful characters.
I don't know if you watched the video I made on Urasawa, but I didn't realize until I made that video, like when I was doing the research or whatever for it, that he was working on Monster and 20th Century Boys at the same time.
Yeah, like, that's insane.
That's wow. So crazy. He was commonly working, like basically from the beginning of his career, until I forget what it was, until he finished Pluto. He was working on like 2 series at the same time almost consistently. But like it's just crazy to me because he finished up working on, I think it was Happy, while he was working on Monster.
Yeah.
And Happy, he's like, okay, well, I'm done with the weekly release schedule stuff. I'm gonna take a break. And he was chilling, like literally, like, you know, I turned my last manuscript, I'm done, I'm taking a break, only gonna be doing 1 series. And then he had an idea for 20th Century Boys, and when you have an idea that you know is a good idea, you can't just
You got to
let
go for it. Yeah.
yeah. So he pushed himself, and like, and I mentioned this stuff in that video, but like he like exhausted himself and put himself in the hospital because of it. But like, damn.
And the dude is a YouTuber too.
Yeah, I did not mention anything but his manga releases, and so I did have a couple people saying like, why didn't you mention his YouTube? We talked about his career with manga.
We're talking about manga, guys, not YouTube.
Because there's other, like, I could have also talked about all the times that he said, like, he's done album covers, he's done various like book covers and stuff, but I didn't do any of those. I just talked about the manga. But yeah, that was insane to me. It was absolutely insane to me that he was working on 2 of the series that would become his like most highly praised and most recognizable, not only in his career, but like 2 of the most highly praised manga of all time. And he was doing both of them at the same time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. God bless.
Saiyan says Asadora is so good. Urasawa's has another masterpiece. Yeah.
I know it's hard to get right now, as are many of his books, but anyone who has not read Pluto, I highly recommend it. It is amazing.
You got to read Pluto, man. Yeah.
And it's only 8 volumes, which means like it doesn't drag on at all. And I like every series, it doesn't matter how great you are, like everything, like almost everything has a dragging point where things are like, oh, okay, let's go. It does not do that at all. 8 volumes, concise, sweet, to the point.
To the point, yeah.
It is so good. And it's amazing to see his artistic representation, like his interpretations of the characters from the Astro Boy comic. And if you look back at the old Astro Boy books or anime and look at his interpretations of these characters, it's like realizing something. Like it's like seeing a cartoon brought into real life almost.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, all of Pluto's out of stock. Damn.
I think the one that's hardest to get, according to most people I see, is number 3. Because most people are like, I've heard people even say like, I just don't even believe it exists anymore. And then I pull my copy and I'm like, oh, it's right here. It exists. I assure you.
Yeah. Also, 20th Century Boys. I've made this story. I've told this story. Sorry, on this channel before. I was collecting it, the previous editions, and I wanted to switch over to the perfect editions, and I forgot. And now I'm looking here online, and like the first 4 are out of stock. So I need to get that at some point.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah. Babylon Shadows, thank you for joining. No, not that. There we go. I really want to read a review comparison of Pluto and Astro Boy story. It was adapted from. I read the Astro Boy story, but really want to see someone review both side by side. That could be fun. I'm not saying I'm going to do that now, man, but that could be a fun video. I've reviewed Pluto on my channel if you guys want to check it out. You don't have to listen to it. Just put it on mute and let it play so it counts for the channel stats. Oh man. So what else? What else you got? What other books?
Another master of the medium, whom Viz has been giving some attention to lately.
Rob Liefeld?
Yes. I've got Pocket
Snake
Man
Eye.
or whatever that.
Or Pocket Man and Snake Eyes.
Taiyo Matsumoto's number 5.
Damn it. Son of a bitch. I got that here.
We're overlapping a couple times. There's some really good things. We have great taste together. Um, I like this is a beautifully put together book. Number
Yep.
one, like if we're talking about beautifully done books, it's not a hardcover, but um, they have the trying to open this in the best, least destructive way possible.
I love those posters
Like the
and
wraparound,
the wraparound. Yeah,
and then with the French flaps and everything,
that's
and
a
then
work of art.
on the inside you get, because each of these is a 2-in-1, so you get both covers. You get the one on the outside, and then you get like a pull out,
Yep.
fold out on the inside. Um, I think that in this book, he makes it clear how much of a fan he is of like European comics,
Yep.
stuff like Mobius and the like, things from Humanoids. There's a lot of references. Same in you, it's same. um, and it's another one of those series. It's harder to follow. You have to pay attention while you're reading, and it's like when you read stuff like these, you can lose yourself. You lose your thoughts into the because it's just action and funny scenes. You got to pay attention sometimes in the books you read. And number 5 is one of those.
Yeah.
Beautifully illustrated, beautifully put together. This will be 4 volumes total of these like 2-in-1 editions when it wraps up, and I'm hoping that Viz continues to do more of Matsumoto's work, and we can get some other things that have never been released before, and maybe some re-releases of some things that I haven't been able to add into my collection. Another blue manga is Blue Spring, also by Matsumoto.
There's a lot of blues.
I sad story. Cry every time. I ordered a copy years ago on eBay for like cover price, and it may well be one of those situations like I had with what was it with Kaguya-sama, where like it shipped and then
In
it
another language.
well, it wasn't that one. It was like, was it with Kaguya-sama that had, because I know that one was in German, but there was another one where like no, it was Gintama that someone like they shipped it to me, but it never arrived. And then when I reached out, they just refunded me and said like, "Oh, it's lost in the mail." Same thing happened with Blue Spring. I ordered it, they like shipped it, and then when I emailed because it never arrived after like several weeks, they gave me a refund. And I'm like, "Did y'all actually ever ship it?" But yeah, it was already going for overcover at that time, and I was really upset that I wasn't able to get my copy, and I never ordered it again. And now it's going for way more overcover than it was then. I'm like, God dang it! But maybe they'll re-release it. Maybe they'll do it in a larger trim, like if it's in the, because it was part of the editor's choice line, and maybe if they do it under the Viz Sig line, they'll do it in that signature size that they tend to do now. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. And
Hopefully, yeah.
Monster as well.
The word of the day is blue. When someone said the word blue, we take a drink. Stay hydrated, folks. Hell yeah. Babylon Shadows. He's super hyped about Hell's Paradise. The anime trailer debuted. It is thankfully animated by Studio Mappa, and at least the trailer looks super badass. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for. I read some of it this year on the app, not the app, the website for Viz Media, and it's fun. I like it. Hopefully, they don't do the same travesty they did to Record of Ragnarok. No, I have faith in Mappa. You know, they may have some crappy work issues with their employees, but they put out solid entertainment adaptations.
That one's almost done releasing in English. I'm excited. I think there's just like 2 more volumes left.
That's also out of stock. I'm annoyed.
I think volume 2 is the one that a lot of people mention to me, because I get a lot of like the people in the comments section right now watching the video who also watch me on TikTok might see this. Like, people will ask me all the time, like, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? And I don't have a good answer for you. Like, the answer that I'm going to give you is not going to make you happy. Like, how the heck did you get a copy of Hell's Paradise #2? I bought it when it came out,
when it came out. Yeah.
and it wasn't hard to get.
Unfortunately, manga just keeps exploding in popularity every single month. And if you're not in the hype train when it starts, that's going to happen. Same with, I see it all the time on YouTube. They're talking about the final volume of Dorohedoro. And like, that
Yeah.
is so elusive. I'm like, it was readily available when I got it. Okay.
There's this, like, just going on like an aside at this point. I feel like there's this it's almost like a what do they call it? Like when what's that thing that like you like a baby doesn't realize that if you cover your face, like you're still there.
Oh, I know what you mean, but I mean,
I forget, someone in the chat's gonna be like, oh, I know that term, and give it to us, but like it's that, but like kind of for people's perception of how this stuff is, like if they never saw it when it was readily available, then in their mind, like it never was.
yeah.
And so like people ask me, and like I just have to tell them, like even today I got a comment, someone said, hey, do you have the Samurai Champloo manga? Like, I know it's super rare, and I used to, I bought it when it came out, but it was terrible, so I sold it. But like a lot of people, they're like, oh man, how did you even, like, Rave Master? I got Rave Master almost every volume when it came out. Now it's so hard to get for like a good price. You have to pay like, bajillion dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this expectation that when people ask, it's like I have like a plug or something for my books. I don't have a plug. I just like it. I answered one person one time. They're like, you have to tell me where you got whatever that series is. And I was like, well, 2003 or 2005 or whatever it was, Borders Books and Music. It was easy to get. It's just, I don't know. There's this kind
This
of,
is it.
yeah,
Object
object permanence. Like
permanence.
almost, it's kind of like the same concept in my head about object permanence. People have about, like, I guess, like a situational permanence. Like if they didn't see it, then if they've only seen it one way, then it was that way forever for them. I'm
Yeah.
assuming most of the people that think that way are probably younger, and it's fine. Like they're just getting started, collecting these things, and it's never been different to them before. But it's like with anything that comes out now, like it's something is readily available when it comes out, and then after it's out, eventually it's not. So I can't give advice.
Mm-hmm. Viz has fallen behind on reprints, but I think you mentioned that they are reprinting what is necessary a month or so ago.
Yeah, they still are. Like if you keep tabs on, I get Right Stuff to send me emails when stuff is available again, and like 3 volumes of not Komi, Kaguya-sama Love is War came back into stock
Yeah.
like a week or two ago. Like they're rolling out.
As Hell's Paradise has only 2 volumes left to finish, can you do a review in the future? I don't know if we'll do a review here, but I mostly do anime and manga reviews. I don't do super hauls or collections and stuff like that, but I'll read it. I'll review it on my channel at least. Maybe we'll talk about it here. But maybe we'll do a ninja samurai themed manga episode.
Or maybe before the anime hits, we can talk about the manga. Like
the manga is going to come back in print, and once the anime starts, it's going to go out of print again or out of stock. That's my prediction for it. It happened with Dorohedoro. It happens with Kaguya-sama when the seasons drop. Happened with what's the other one that came out this year? You get the picture. Whenever a new anime hits and it's based on a popular manga, everybody, as soon as the anime ends, everybody goes online to pick up manga volumes to keep the story going, and it sells out immediately. So if you think there's a series out there that you really want to read, and it's right there, it's available, and you got the income, go for it and grab it, because it's going to sell out pretty quickly once the show ends. I'm looking for something. Anyways, yeah, never mind. Um,
You know what else
so,
is hard to find right now that I'm surprised they didn't reprint
which
uh,
one?
in preparation for this? So
Oh, you got real.
Real
Nice.
Volume 15 came out just recently.
How surreal is it for you to hold that volume? Because it's been a while.
There was a pretty significant hiatus for the series, and then he came back like
Mm-hmm.
a couple of years ago, I think. Because I think when he like they literally announced that he was coming back, I was at work at the DFW airport, and I was walking around, and I was looking at my phone. And I was like, "Oh shit, Real's coming back!" And I I thought that they would have had this lined up for reprint before this volume came out. They did not, but I got my 15. I haven't read it yet. I just got it like a day or two ago. But I'm ready to start reading it and being like, I don't remember anything that was going on in this series.
Basketball. Uh, volume 14 came out when? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but I could find out really quickly.
Because I always get a kick out of the credits when it says the date on the credits page on the manga, and seeing the difference between the two volumes. First,
Volume 15 in Japan came out, or sorry, 14 in Japan came out December 19th of 2014.
wow,
And then in English, it came out March 15th, 2016.
damn,
So,
pretty
and
long wait.
in Japan, this came out last November. So November 19th of 2020. So there was a pretty significant delay for us to get this volume also.
Mm-hmm. Um, Here's a cool question for us. Can you recommend slice of life titles based in Japan or Korea with good art and not based in a high school?
Saint Young Men.
That's a nice one. Um, I'm gonna add. Let's see. You want? It's not modern or anything, but and it's not available, so you're not gonna buy it because it's super expensive. But I always recommend Mushishi for slice of life. Feudal-ish Japan, give or take, and he's dealing with yokai-esque spirits, but still episodic kind of slice of life of a wandering doctor, if you will.
Saint Young Men is, I think it's readily available right now. 6 volumes are out. Seventh one should be out soon. They're 2-in-1 hardcovers from Kodansha that get released every several months. Um, Jesus and Buddha are roommates in Japan, and it's literally just it's slice of life. There's no like
Mm-hmm.
uh grand plot line or anything. There's no action or anything. It's just comedic because you have two deities living together and the things that they go through and the arguments that they have. It's wholesome. It's cute. It's funny, and it can be educational too because they have a lot of like notes in the back of each chapter.
Yeah.
If you don't understand references about religion and stuff that they're going over or Japanese culture that they reference, it gives you all the notes in the back so you can keep up with what's going on.
Nice. Cool. Thanks. I will see what I can dig up on those. Mushishi is extremely rare, and it sucks because it's been
Yeah,
out of print for ages.
a
I
thousand
don't own it because
set.
it's so pricey.
Legitimately $1,000 for the set of 10 volumes.
Ridiculous. Would 7 be the last Saint Young Men volume?
No, it's still ongoing. Um, Let me double check where it's at now. They have in Japan they have 19 volumes, so that would be 8.5 volumes of, or not 8.5, 9.5 volumes worth of material for the Kodansha release.
Rent a Girlfriend counts. It's college students. Yeah, it counts. Although it's not technically, it's not really. It's more of a rom com. No. Have you guys read Days on Fez? I want to. I haven't yet. Sorry. Riley, did you see Comey Can Community? You're talking to Riley. He's not going to watch the anime, James. You know this already. I'm the one watching the anime.
I did see that it was getting a second season. And I know a lot of people who really enjoy the anime adaptation, but I had a friend of mine over the weekend. He came into town and stayed with us for a couple nights. And we were friends from, back in high school and stuff. And literally, like, the dynamic was the same as it was back in high school. Like, he would come over to my house and we'd hang out, watch TV, and he would sit on the couch and read my manga. And he was reading Comey. Like, he started with volume 1 and made it through like volume 5 or 6 by the end of the time he was here. And I was talking about it, and I was like, "Have you watched the anime?" And he's like, "No, I haven't, but I've seen it. Like, I've seen it on Netflix and stuff." I think that's why he wanted to check it out. And I was like, "Yeah, I know a lot of people who say it's really good, but like the style of it, it seems like they stylize it too much to me in comparison to how like quaint and quiet the manga is in its style." And he was like, "Yeah, I get." Like, he finished my sentence before I finished it. Like, he was like, "Yeah, it's a very like subdued type of style. It's very quiet, and like the anime gives it a lot of flourish and style to it that doesn't need to be in there." And I was like, "That's exactly how I feel just from seeing like clips that, trailers and clips that people have shared of it in their own videos and video essays and stuff like that." So we were kind of on the same wavelength about that, and that's for me why like I'm not watching it. But I also had read that it's ending soon in Japan, so the manga should be wrapping up pretty soon, and that is exciting because I always love to see how these things wrap up.
If anybody's interested in watching the show, it ended obviously the first season. The character of, I'm looking for the credits because I can't remember the character's name. Najimi is voiced by the same actress that voices Ram in ReZero, and she knocked it out of the park. I was laughing so hard at her performance. Amazing. I highly recommend it just for that. And I've read the manga, so yeah. But yeah, if you want to listen to say you do really funny takes and random sounds, check out that performance from Komi Can't Communicate. Does Kodansha still have the rights to Mushishi? Sometimes it's hard to keep track. I don't know. Let me check.
If they have it digitally,
they still have it digitally, right?
I think that they do, and that usually means that they have it, but there's no telling. Because the digital license and the physical license are not one and the same.
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing it here on their website. You can read a preview of it. Man, come on. Reprint this stuff so I can own it. I love Mushishi. Such a great series. I got one more book for this stream to end it on, and that is, of course, Shigeru Mizuki's Tono Monogatari.
We didn't cross over on this last one then.
Yeah, we didn't cross over here. I love this so much. I've become such a huge fan of Mizuki over the past year, and his work is just amazing. And this is adapting the Tono Monogatari, which is your Bible when it comes to supernatural and yokai things. This is like taking a famous fairy tale and he is adapting it to manga format. And if you're a fan of Mizuki, you're really going to get a kick out of his art in this. And just because he's a cartoonist, first and foremost. So that sensibility and drawing characters is present in this book. You get really super amazing detailed backgrounds, and then the characters are all sometimes silly and goofy looking, and that's part of the charm when it comes to Mizuki books. I'm a big fan of Japanese folklore and yokai, and this is one of my favorite books of the year. I really love this, and it's still in stock. If you're wanting to go this route, the Gekiga route, if you will, you're gonna enjoy it. A couple more pages here.
There was a ton of Mizuki work at the shop I was at a couple weeks ago.
Damn, I should have let you know that I needed some. I'm missing the freaking oversized Kitaro book. I'm so pissed
They
that
didn't
that's out
have
of print.
those. They had the smaller ones.
Oh, the smaller ones are good too. Yeah, and they have the Showa books. I wasn't going to get them, but I kind of want to get everything from Mizuki, so I'll bite.
That
'Cause
yeah, that shop had those, and I was gonna get them, but at the same time, I wasn't sure if those had hardcover releases
they
because a
don't.
lot of they don't. Okay, I should have jumped on them then.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
because
sure I can get them.
typically, here's my train of thought. I'm probably a weird person when it comes to this. I don't. I try and stay away from, like, when it comes to video games, for example. I don't play the realistic shooters because the world's already messed up as it is. I don't need that in my life when it comes to video games. The one thing that is a stress reliever for me, I don't want to see like the realism of shooting and war and murdering people with real weapons or real life weapons. So I prefer the fantastical and the sci-fi and stuff like that. And when it comes to literature and comics and sequential art, I don't like World War II stuff because of it. But this is more of a Japanese history of the Showa period through Mizuki's lens. And I love that Ratman is the one guiding you through the book. That kind of sold me on it. I'm like, yeah, I'll get it. It's not something I'm super hyped to read because a lot of sad, depressing stuff happens in the Showa period, from Great Depressions to World War II and the atomic fallout and all that stuff. So, but it looks awesome. Oh, James, I didn't get this book, but I kind of want to. One of my favorite manga of the year is one that just came out, Lupin the Third: Greatest Heist Classic Manga Collection.
I
I'm
just
such a
ordered my copy a couple days ago.
I'm a fan of the that series and what's the other one that's coming out next month? Common Rider. They're multimedia franchises where it's not just the manga because Monkey Punch didn't do a lot of manga, but he supervised everything when it came to the anime. And there's so many movies and OVAs and anime and stuff. Same with Common Rider. It was built as a multimedia franchise that I don't know if I want to own the books. Like I'm fine with the random movies and shows. I don't know. That's just me, probably.
Okay, I got
What you got?
one more. The last
One
one.
more.
This one also just came out, and I don't think I've read anything in this before. But the manga theater by
Ooh,
Toriyama, I was really looking forward to this one, and it is a great looking book.
nice.
It's I didn't realize how pricey it was, but it's got
Look
a
at that Shonen Jump logo. So tiny.
yeah, it's minuscule. Cover price of $35.
Damn.
Let's compare the
Whoa, that's a thick boy. Yeah, somebody should have enlarged that on Photoshop. What the
the
hell?
logo is even I think a little bit smaller than the one on a normal volume,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty funny. But yeah, this is I'm really excited. This is great. Like this is like 600 pages worth of Toriyama manga. These are all of his not all of. I know there's some stuff that's not in there, but like
A
his
good
one
chunk
shots
of yeah.
for the most part are in here.
Yeah.
Um, this has
I,
been
w-
going,
I was going to get it, but I skipped on it, and I just realized I read recently that they added them to the Shonen Jump app. So if you guys are digital only, you can read it legally on the app. They have it there.
There's a bunch of
Let me highlight you
there's
there.
the table of contents, all the different
That's a lot.
stories in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good amount of stuff in there. There are a few things left of his that are not yet available in English that I'm hoping will happen in the near future.
Oh,
So
I love that. Look at those neon colors. Love that so much.
yeah, this is a great looking volume. I'm so happy to have it. And they have the other covers because it was a 3 volume set in Japan. They
Hmm.
have other covers in full color on the inside, so you don't have to worry about missing out. There's Ackman. Um, I think I read Ackman, like a scan of it when I was in like high school or middle school or something.
That one was pretty popular because it had Famicom games.
Yeah,
Simeon, that is a fair. Oh, because I was talking about Mizuki, the World War II stuff. Fair and reasonable take on media and reality representations. I sometimes feel that way. Yeah,
there.
I go to books and video games to escape reality. So I don't want the atrocities of war on my manga.
Speaking of video games to escape reality, my wife gave me my Christmas present today, and
That's a nice segue.
um
What
she
you
got
got?
me Monkey Ball on the Switch.
Yes.
So we're gonna play that because we've got the next several days. Both of us are not working. I mean, I'll be making YouTube content and stuff, but I don't have to be working.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah,
that's awesome. That's a great game.
really excited. We play the GameCube one and stuff, but it'll be nice to have the new version.
Hmm.
And you can play as Sonic and Tails.
And you can play as a Sega Dreamcast, Game Gear, and Genesis.
What?
Because one of the DLC packs is the character selection. You get to play as the consoles spinning inside the ball. It's ridiculous, but I love it. Zom 100 is the funniest read for me this year. Did Volume 1 came out this year? Come out this year?
Was it? I don't. Was it early this year? I don't remember.
Let me check the release date on that. But a lot of people have been enjoying that.
I definitely have been as well. Yeah, it was February of this year,
Nice.
and Volume 5 will be February of next year.
Whoa, cool. Forgot about that. What else? I ain't got no other picks. Uh, I got Nononba, but I don't think Nononba came out this year. That's another Gekiga Mizuki book. Uh, no, that was not this year. Chat. A couple more minutes, 2 or 3 more minutes before we wrap up. Hit us with any questions. It's the last show, the last manga show of 2021. Next year, let's see if we can get some cool guests. Not just the revolving door of co-host like Nelson and Adonis, but like actual guests that we can interview and talk about and discuss manga topics with. Because they're busy and they just do it because they're our friends. So, and obviously, we're looking forward to a lot of books coming out. Coming, Record of Ragnarok. I'm looking forward to Beast Stars. I was going to say Beast Wars. Beast Stars is
That
ending.
too.
I would love a Beast Wars manga though. That'd be dope.
I think they have a recent Beast Wars comic. Speaking of Transformers comics, I had IDW is going to be sending me books all year. Like basically every month they give me a choice of a few books. And
Nice.
for the January books, one of them was the Transformers My Little Pony crossover.
Hell yeah.
So I'm gonna be like reviewing that one on TikTok because that's where they wanted me to do stuff for was for their TikTok page.
Oh, nice.
So
By the way, you did not talk about JoJo this episode.
I was gonna grab it, but I have it up on the top shelf like a expensive tequila, and I didn't have my step stool to grab it because it, when I say top shelf, I mean like up on top of the shelves.
Yeah, yeah.
So I already had all the other stuff in my arms, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to try and grab it. But yeah, JoJo's part 4 ended and part 5 began, and part 6 anime began, and
I
I
have to admit, I haven't seen Golden Wind yet, the anime, so I can't jump on part 6 yet.
you
I have Golden Wind Blu-rays, but and
Golden
I
Golden
wanna
Wind
watch
is so separate from everything else.
it. Yeah.
You could go right into part 6 if you want, but I was gonna say I feel like I'm the only person that was not like super enthralled with the adaptation so far of part 6. There's something about it is a little bit off to me.
Part of I mean, I have no idea, but I want to watch part 5 because my boy Geo is on there.
Oh, it's worth it. Like
Yeah.
it's exciting. There's like a lot of really fun stand abilities. It's good. Like I definitely recommend like I definitely recommend watching it, but you could skip to part 6 if you wanted to. Is the only
Yeah.
is all I'm saying.
I'm looking online for something before we wrap up. Because James is talking about Berserk, and I wanted to share the news. I don't know if everybody knows. Uh, Berserk Volume 41 will be released summer 22 by Dark Horse. And I wanted to share the little image thing.
That is about what I estimated when we would see it. Because it comes out this month in Japan. I think it comes out on Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, James, let me take this off. There we go. So, right here says Berserk coming summer 2022, Volume 41 from Dark Horse Comics.
Nice. I'll have to post that on TikTok.
Yeah.
Everyone goes berserk over berserk on there.
Escapism, Geo, you saying you don't want modern politics in your entertainment too? That's different. That's very different, buddy. I'm just talking about like war and violence, but politics, I don't mind. We
I
need
like
a
it.
cultured episode. Is when they say cultured episode, is that a joke for like fan servicey stuff? Is that what people mean? I
I
think
don't
so.
know.
I don't know. But if you want a fan servicey episode, Riley probably won't participate on it because he's not a fan of that, but I will. I'll do it. Whatever. I'm
I'm not
sad.
a fan of service.
Two more questions and we're going to wrap it up. Riley, on a side note, will you be buying the reprint of Silver Age Thor Omnibus Volume 1?
No, I sold my original copies. I just was not.
No. Don't.
Most Silver Age just doesn't do much for me. Like it has to be like Spider-Man is like my top character, like singular character at Marvel, and that's why like he's pretty much the only Silver Age that I have. But aside from him, like it, yeah, it's tough. And it's just my taste. Like I know there's people that get really uh persnickety about that, and they're like, "But Silver Age is great." It's just my tastes.
Oh, yeah. Final question, guys. What would you guys recommend for a good sci fi anime that's not Cowboy Bebop? Eureka 7, one of the greatest shows of all time, one of my all time favorite anime. That's all you got to watch. Just the original series. Don't bother with the spin off and the sequel. Eureka 7, one of the greatest love stories with sci fi elements and mecha, and just a phenomenal show. Watch that.
Outlaw Star,
That's a good one, too.
and if you want to see um, anime Batman with giant robots, then watch the Big O.
Big O action. Yeah, that's a good one.
And the theme song is basically just a parody, I guess, of sorts of Queen's Flash.
Flash, yeah.
Song. Big
Oh,
O,
and Space Dandy. Yeah, that's a good one.
a
But
dandy
a
guy.
dandy guy in space. That's the tagline for the show. I love it. So, gang, that's about it. Let's give one final shout out to the sponsor of this episode. That is, of course, In Stock Trades, making it happen for your Omnibros, your home for all things collected editions, whether it be an omnibus, manga, hardcovers, trade paperbacks, whatever it may be. When it comes to collected editions, you got to go to In Stock Trades. Up to 50 to 60% off on different books, deals every week, all that fun stuff, gang. You got to check it out. Go to instocktrades.com, place an order, and if you order $50 or more, you get free shipping. Fantastic customer service and wonderful packaging at instocktrades.com, the official sponsor of Omnibros Live here on YouTube. Shout out to our wonderful sponsor. Rapid fire. Didn't Big O have a second series? Nope. Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
Season 2, but it was just the first 13 episodes and the second 13 episodes.
Yeah, it was just two
halves of the same thing.
Yeah. Ghost in the Shell standalone complex series is good. Yes, my favorite of the Ghost in the Shell stuff. Legend of the Galactic Heroes. If you want space opera goodness, there you go. Geo have Jess as a special guest in that manga fan service stream. I want him to read. What was the other book that you sent him?
The Dumbbells.
Yeah, I want him to read Dumbbells and Gigant, and the two of us will do a stream on that, and we'll review them.
Or just like do it like you're teaching him, like have a PowerPoint and be like, and here we have Food Wars, and here.
I think he still has Food Wars because I remember our buddy Tolga. Shout out to Tolga right there. He gifted him a copy. I think he still has it. Enjoy the holidays and thank you for the manga show. Thank you, Tolga. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for supporting this little experiment of ours, talking manga twice a month. Look forward to more episodes next year. Next week, real quick, Monday, Hall's Previews Reads for one final time in 2021. Wednesday, I'll be doing best of the year when it comes to movies and video games and stuff like that. And then Thursday will be the Omnis, awarding virtually the most important award show of the year. All the celebrities, all the writers, all the creative teams, they will be tuning in. We will be giving out trophies to the winners. So
we
stay
need
tuned for that.
Design like a stamp.
I'm going to try and make. Actually, that's a good idea. I'm going to try and make that happen. And that's it. That's the schedule for the last week of 2021. Yeah, and be sure to participate on Thursday for your gift card giveaway that Thursday.
Send a stamp to publishers and be like, for your consideration of of like on new printings, this is an Omni Award winning series.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Stay safe out there, gang. Catch you guys on the next video. Peace out. Your read some manga.